The final round is underway at Pebble Beach, and Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson are paired together for only the 10th time ever in a final round, and Phil Mickelson is on fire. This was earlier at the 5th, after birdies at the 2nd and the 4th holes. Knocks it stone dead for another birdie at the 5th. Then eagle hunting at the 6th. Goes to 5 under through the first 6 holes. Tiger playing with him has this for his first birdie of the day and 6. At that point, however, Mickelson had taken the lead alone by 2. Over at the 7th, this little one, Tiger lipping out for a bogey. And then, still in his head, I'm sure, over at the 8th, this for par, and he surrenders another stroke. It's going the other way for Woods. Mickelson, who began the day 6 off the lead, is now the leader by 2. He's made up 8 shots. And just as we come on the air, over at the 9th, down in that bunker, this most difficult seaside par 4, the 9th hole. And now we're live with Phil, again our tournament leader. He's 2 up on Charlie Wee, who's 3 over for the round, and Kevin Streelman, who's having a good go of it too, at 5 under for the round. That'll be a side-winding downhiller coming up for Mickelson, but he's not missing much. 5 under through the first 8 holes, and now the leader by 2. Again, he's overturned this by 8 shots, having started the day 6 off the lead of Charlie Wee. And Tiger Woods now has dropped all the way back to 7th position, tied with Dustin Johnson at 10 under par, and Padraig Harrington and Aaron Baddeley, all in that group, 4 shots off the lead. Not very often that you see Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods paired together in a final round, battling it out, and then you factor in the Pebble Beach quotient. It's a big-time day for the sport. Now, this was just a moment ago over at the 12th, Kevin Streelman at the par 3.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Oh,
and look at Kevin Streelman. He'll have that to move within 1 of Mickelson. And to go for what would be his 6th birdie of the day. We're back over live at the 9th. Jim Nantz, Sir Nick Faldo, and the whole CBS golf team. So happy to be back here on the Monterey Peninsula. And we hear that Tiger has a decent lie over there on the 9th in that bunker. A little bit on the upslope, which will be helpful. David Feherty is out there. David?
Actually, Jim, I'm with that group, and Tiger does have an uphill lie. That's the good news. Bad news is it's all downhill all the way to the hole, so it's going to be extremely difficult to keep this ball short of the hole.
What happened with that second shot? I mean, Tiger missed the 2 short putts. He hasn't had wide misses with his full game today, but his iron shot into 8 and then this one into 9, both.
Yeah, he's obviously not very comfortable right now. He's making a lot of dress rehearsal swings, a lot of practice swings and drill swings with no club, so he's searching for a feel right now.
He also fears going right. His worst shot of the week is a block right, and that shot at the 9th there, if he hit it right, he'd have been down on the beach. So personally, I think he goes, all of a sudden he's just lost confidence in his golf swing.
And now he's got another putt coming up that will test the nerve. After misses at 7 and 8, we go back over to the 12th now. You don't see many in here close on the 12th hole.
No, that front bunker's been well worn out so far this week, and Streelman's got a free run at things. He's a quarter of a mile ahead of half a mile ahead of everybody else, so the freedom to enjoy a relaxed atmosphere.
Actually, that's his 7th birdie of the day, matched against 1 bogey. Mickelson has a long birdie putt coming up. He is the leader. The final round from Pebble Beach is coming up here on CBS. Pebble Beach, described by Scottish novelist Robert Louis Stevenson as the most felicitous meeting of land and sea in creation, where today there is a confluence of some of the biggest names in golf, all of whom have starred on this magical stage. Tiger Woods once fashioned a 7-stroke comeback here with 7 to play. And in the 2000 U.S. Open had the most dominant performance of the modern era. Phil Mickelson has made his own history here. 3 times he's added this to his prized possessions. And then there's 27-year-old Dustin Johnson with back-to-back titles. Golf's most dramatic backdrop and a dynamic leaderboard await at Pebble Beach. Sports and the PGA Tour so proudly present the final round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. It's part of the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. And we are going to go right back out to the 9th hole live. And Mickelson's putt for birdie. Again, Peter Kostis is there.
Very, very quick putt that should go left at the hole.
Easy now. You see how speedy that is. He watched the break as it ran past the hole. Just measure what's coming back. Over at the 8th, talking about sidewinders, Charlie Wee opened with a double bogey. He was sitting on the lead here and was jittery from the get-go, Nick.
Oh, very much. Walked out on the first green and 4-putted it. Had a 3-footer for a par, missed that, and then missed the next.
Back over at 9, Mickelson down.
Interesting, didn't mark and let Tony Romo, who was away, putt. He elected to continue putting, which obviously he's allowed to do. So he wanted to finish before Tiger.
That's a 31 first 9 for Phil. What a beautiful sight that is, looking down the 18th and the lodge at Pebble Beach. In all the sights here. The surf is up. The storm is coming in overnight. So Mickelson's completed. First 9:31, and there's Dustin Johnson, Harrington, and Baddeley still in it. And don't forget Spencer Levine, who had the meltdown last week at Scottsdale. Give him credit. He's 4 under today with a hole to play, so he comes right back and might be on his way to a top 10 here. So it's overcast. It's chilly, but still awesome to be here. Pebble Beach Golf Links. This American treasure located on the Monterey Peninsula and wedged in between Monterey, Pacific Grove, and Carmel by the Sea. So we're back at the 9th, and Tiger, after a couple of misses that were closer than this, has this one for par.
All of his misses has been to the right, just like his full swing, so a little bit more tension in his putting stroke today than we saw yesterday, where he putted brilliantly.
That's low.
Yeah. Wow, 3 bogeys in a row. On a day when, you know, we basically got, it's like a boxing match. We've got the judges marking the cards of these 2 players. This is an incredible day, more than just the golf. I think this is going to be a real psychological battle between these 2, and Phil is totally just pounding Tiger as they go through the 9th round.
It's all the middle part of it too, isn't
absolutely.
it? I mean, that's what you're really talking about. And this is Tony Romo, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, who made the cut here. Of course, 25 amateurs are playing today as well, and Tony has this one for a par. He just knocked it about an inch at 8, made natural birdie. So Romo makes that slippery putt for a par, and some outstanding play by Romo. There's the outstanding group of amateurs who made the cut here, led by Greg Ontiveros, 17 handicap from Davenport, Iowa, and Padraig Harrington with J.P. McManus from Limerick, Ireland. Mr. McManus, a long-time participant here coming over and playing with his fellow countryman, Padraig Harrington. They're one off the lead. Bill Belichick is in third place a week after being on the sidelines for the Super Bowl. Ray Romano, in his 12th trip to Pebble Beach, has made the cut for the first time, and he's having a really good go of it here on Sunday as well. Hunter Haas, you see at the bottom there, with Oklahoma University football coach Bob Stoops among those playing here on Sunday. That's the amateur's dream. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Sir Nick Faldo here in the tower at 18 at Pebble Beach. It's always such a treat to be here at this treasure. And, of course, then you got the added bonus of having Tiger and Phil together in the same group. We've been watching it before we came on the air. Give everybody a little capsule summary of how Phil has done it.
Well, I've been watching, even the Golf Channel started at 10 o'clock. I've seen the whole of the rounds, and I try to describe it. With these two guys playing together, it's like a slugfest, isn't it? They are sending message to each other. It started on the second hole where Phil hit two great shots on there, makes a 4. Tiger fails, blasts a putt through the break, takes a 5. So we can go on and on. And you've seen all those highlights, what's been happening now. So I think this is sending. We've never seen Tiger, you know, in this era that he's in, this now time he's in, he's never had to deal with failure. Look at him walking off a green, shaking his head. He's not happy with the green, so he's got that going on in his mind as well. You know, they're a little bit bumpy, but, you know, all of this together, this is an incredible day when you get these two mighty men back together to play, and it's going to be a special play, special event.
38 for Woods the first 9, 31 for Mickelson. Gary McCord is at 16, Ian Baker Finch at 17. David Feherty is out there walking with the final group. That would be Ken Duke and Charlie Wee. And we heard from Peter Kostis, who will be adding not only his fairway reporting, but a swing analysis as well. So we're on the tee at the 10th hole, and we send it over to Gary McCord now for the call.
Well, let's try to keep it off the beach down there on the right. We got some bunkers starting at 246 on the left, and if you want to hit it over them, that's 319. You can see them stacked over there. Looks like I'm trying to hook it off those bunkers. I don't think he likes it. A couple of people started to clap and then went, uh-oh. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's the second ranked hardest hole in the golf course today. Reason is the hole is cut all the way in the back portion of this green. And if you try to get bold and get to it, that bunker back there is dead. It's all downhill to the flag. So everybody will try to come up about 20, 30 feet short, try to putt it up the hill and get lucky.
Well, Gary, now Tiger, again, exaggerating his swing drill, really trying to swing the club out and over and across to the left through the hitting area to try and emphasize his cut swing.
And we saw last week when he was getting near the lead and Robert Rock got him, those cuts started going left.
Yeah.
And here it comes again.
That's the first time he's hit driver today, guys, as well. He's been hitting 3-wood.
And that goes in that bunker. That last one you see right there, that little one, that's 319 over it. So here we go again. As Phil gnaws on a banana. He has a one-shot lead. He has made up 8 strokes. That seems to be the theme the last couple of weeks, doesn't it? Is any lead too much?
The AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am is sponsored by PNC Wealth Management for the achiever in you. The Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Choose the best ball for your game. And by AT&T 4G LTE with speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G. Mickelson. It's right down the middle of the fairway after a big tee shot at the 10th. And let's give it to you, Peter Kostis.
Yeah, with the help of the Konica Minolta BizHub Swing Vision camera, Phil Mickelson was struggling last week in Phoenix, flew his instructor Butch Harmon in. What they worked on was stabilizing his left knee. It was straightening too much in the backswing, causing him all kinds of issues. But he's keeping the flex in that left knee now as he changes directions especially. And then watch how his left knee doesn't move out toward the golf ball quite as much when he maintains that flex. He's able to drive his left knee a little bit more toward his right knee, keeping his lower body underneath him, and boy, is he striping it today. Now with Tiger's swing, the positions going back are really very, very good. When he gets the shaft parallel to the ground, it's right in line. goes up his forearm and gets in a perfect position at the top. But now here's where things changed on that last swing. Watch as he starts back down. You're going to see the head dip a little bit. And he's trying to swing his left arm left, keeping it underneath him better, coming forward. But you're going to see the left arm and the glove swing out and up away from him, and the club head get behind him again, going through. So he's trying to swing the grip left to keep the club head outside of the forward swing, but he's not quite able to do it.
Peter, that dip at the beginning of the downswing, that's always been a problem for him, hasn't it?
It is, and it's a tension level thing in large part. It's partly where he gets a lot of his power, but when he's timing it, he can really stripe it. When he's not, he's going to struggle.
Let's go to 13.
And we're going to find 399-yard par 4. This was earlier. Kevin Streelman only one shot back. And this hole is cut all the way in the back. You're going to see that all day. 30-footers straight up the hill. You do not want to get past that hole location today. As on the 10th hole also, that's for a birdie. That is a good aggressive shot in there to get it about pin high. Beautiful putt right there. Good birdie. That's only the 8th birdie of the day. He's 2 under par. Saw him make a bogey back there on the 5th hole. Let's go to 9.
Charlie Wee.
From 186 yards.
Yeah, and not enjoying the atmosphere of today, David. You know, out there, it's gone quiet on these guys, and having a tough day to make things happen.
Well, I'm the only one here.
Back here at the 18th, we talked about that comeback for Spencer Levine, who has strong ties to the Northern California Golf Association up this way, and after seeing a large lead dissipate last week, he's made a nice little recovery here.
Well, his was a slow, painful meltdown throughout the day, which I think will leave a bigger scar than Carl Stanley, you know, messing up the 18th.
Let's go to 10.
Well, Tiger didn't have a particularly good lie from 160, caught it heavy, and that is headed right toward the hazard.
Whoa. Peter stopped just short right there in the first cut, and he's going to have about 70, 80 yards. Already looking at 3 bogeys in a row, and add another one to it. You can see just a little harder, and that goes down in that place. And I've been down there a few times trying to whack it out. That's a steep slope down there.
Now Phil positioned perfectly, only 140 left in.
He's going to try to run something back up into that hole location, Peter?
Yeah, he likes to get low, and he's bringing that one in fairly low as well.
A little running hook up here. Well, we're going to see, I think, a real nice flopper here, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't get it past that hole. That's just a bad mistake. I can't believe with Tiger where he was, Phil didn't kind of back off that one a little bit. But he's doing the right stuff because he's 14 under, 5 under for the day. Let's go back to Charlie Wee, who's going the other way. He gets a closer inspection of his golf ball.
Some kind of sand flea. Not sure what that was. But, the apron's very smooth.
There is the Faraday factor starting to kick in on Sunday afternoon, David.
Yeah, I know.
These last couple of weeks.
Unlike the kiss of quadruple bogey. Boy, and he has played the last 3 holes. I got to tell you, I know he got off to a bad start. He's played them beautifully. 2 beautiful shots into the 8th. He made 2 at number 7, and for the same price, that could have been 3.
And that'll be a first 939. A 6 at the first, and 6 at the 6th. It has been an unenviable position being the 54-hole leader these last few weeks. This was his putt for par at 1.
Well, especially when putting is the strength in your game.
Oh, boy. So a 3-putt double bogey from just outside of a couple of feet.
Yeah, in fact, that came to a total of 4 putting the first.
Right, exactly.
That doesn't feel too good.
And we're back over at the 10th. What did you see with Tiger's swing?
Well, you know, the fix for me, we've watched this head lower down, and as Pete described it so well, how that left arm goes out. And for me, if he could just stay taller and learn to rotate that left arm, but rotate it right from his triceps, so the whole of the arm rotates rather than just the wrists or just the forearms. Get the whole thing to rotate over. But you can't do it if you're stuck, if you lose your level.
Trying to go for the low bump and run, and it grabs on that second bounce, so he's going to have a good strong 12 feet or so left for his par.
Yeah, 12, 15 footer, Peter. And you remember last week in Abu Dhabi, he was just playing great all week. Last round, you only hit 2 fairways and 6 greens, so something happens when a little more adrenaline gets to that golf swing right now. Let's go to Kevin Streelman. He's going to lag this one up. There you go. Everybody lags it up from down there. Been working very hard at home. Play a lot of golf with him. With his putting stroke, got a little fatter grip you see right there. Take his hands out a little bit more. Trying to really get that putter going for this year. He's not got off to a very good start, but very, very good player. And let's go now back to 18.
Spencer Levine has this for a round of 68.
Very close. It's traditional U.S. Open position, front right-hand corner. Yeah, that'll help. Ease a little bit of pain last week.
And it's going to be some good world ranking points, which was something he's very aware of, as he's in at 9 under, and that's tied for 10th. Let's go to 17.
And this is Brian Harman. Very, very quick putt down here at 17. He is the pro leading the Pro-Am group. Here you see that Harman playing with Ontiveros. They are 35 under, and they've overtaken Padraig Harrington and JP McManus by 1 at this point. Mind you, JP McManus and Padraig have a lot more holes to play, so they can catch up. Of course, JP from Limerick in Ireland, great philanthropist. Many thought last night it was our own Sean McManus from CBS, head of CBS Sports, but unfortunately, Sean, it's not you, it's JP. He's actually won with Padraig before in this style of event.
You can follow the new PGA Tour Matchups game on Facebook and easy-to-play weekly pick'em game. Go to facebook.com. PGA Tour will sign you up. You can win prizes. Back to the 10th.
Well, he's definitely not going the flop. Run something in and try to check it right there on the fringe, and now whoa. That's one way to whoa it.
If that thing went another foot farther, that's enough down by Tiger's ball.
Surprised he went with that little shot there, Peter, but he must have had a soft part of that green to bounce it into.
Yeah, and his lie wasn't conducive to a flop either.
Okay, let's go to 14T.
And Kevin Streelman. Ooh, he didn't leave much in the bag there either here at the par 5. Year in, year out in the toughest 3 holes on this golf course. Unusual for a par 5, but 5 is a great score here. 573 yards. Thread it between the 5 bunkers and then fire uphill to a tiny green. Let's head back to 10.
Okay, everybody's plotting their strategies now. You can see missed par putts today. And those 3 holes in a row. The longest putt he's made so far is 6 feet. So absolutely nothing going in. And again, he grew up on this kind of grass, Poana. So did Phil.
A little difficult to read this one, Gary. He's coming up pretty much the trough of the green, so there might not be too much movement, but it looks like what there may be is try to leak away to the right of the hole.
Yeah, exactly. I've had this putt for bogey many times, Peter, and I always miss it high. It always goes to the right towards that bunker over there. Five back. Big.
Yeah, unlike Tiger, you know, you get a shot on that hole.
Yeah, I do get a shot on that hole. 8 and 9. 8, 9, 10. Boy, that's big for him right there. You see the 3 squares. to avoid one starting out the back nine, so maybe he can get it going. Phil's up by 5, Streelman up down by 4, so he's got to start peeling at it. And there's some tough pin placements here on the back nine, the ones we've seen over the years. And again, this is Phil. He's 41, and these are always interesting, these 3 and 4 footers. So let's watch.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, Gary, with all Tiger's misses, very important. Phil just shows that he's comfortable.
Nothing wrong yet. Driving it down the middle of the fairways, making all the putts, doing all the right things, smile on his face. Starting wearing his traditional black now, the last round. Bones is talking to him. That's going to be a fun back nine. And now back on the tee, Charlie Wee.
Well, he lost the last one way right.
He got some applause. He got some applause. That's absolutely perfect.
That's a good reaction. It would have been easy for him to pull it into the sand there.
Okay, Phil Mickelson, you could see that starts unbelievable. Birdie eagle there on 4 and 5, and he got right into the lead. Aaron Baddeley making a run early on the front nine. The last day here Sunday. Tiger Woods going the wrong way with those bogeys on 7, 8, 9. Phil Mickelson right down the middle on the green, making putts, on fire. Seagulls don't care. They're waiting for food coming in.
Next Sunday on CBS, dive in with the teams of the new Amazing Race and catch the thrilling season premiere. That's next Sunday right here on America's Most Watched Network. Let's get back out to the play at 11.
And a 380-yard par 4. Mickelson trying to rip it up there, get it up to the flat, so you can get a good view of the flat of the green. Just a 3-wood wedge, driver for some. Really one of the few birdie holes left this 11th hole. We've already seen 17 birdies here today. Tiger now with a 3-wood.
Well, this one was timed better.
He's just got to shake off those bogeys, Peter, hasn't he? And keep hitting quality shots, try and make a birdie. I'd like to thank MetLife Snoopy 2 for providing us aerial coverage of the challenging Pebble Beach golf links. Snoopy stays with us at CBS all week, all year, teams up with us, and no better place than here to provide some aerial photos. Ahead at the green now, Kevin Na for birdie. Extremely fast down that green. That's a very good effort. Na currently at 11 under, 3 behind Phil Mickelson. In a tie for 4th with Dustin Johnson, Ricky Barnes, Ken Duke.
All right, go for it.
Pretty cool out there today, about 55 degrees right on the ocean, a breeze blowing, so it's playing a lot cooler than that and playing very long. Streelman now laying up with an iron. Just fire it down towards the left side of that bunker. Leave a wedge or a 9-iron up the hill. And you cannot really attack this flag today. Look at that. You have to go a little long. Do not want to hit it in that front bunker. Back over at 10.
156 yards off the side slope here with a 9-iron.
Charlie likes it.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Great shot. One more club, David.
Yeah, just needed to carry really another 6 feet and hit it on the flat. That hit in the little false front.
And earlier, Ken Duke.
161 yards with 8.
These guys got to get something going here in this group. Get back in it. That's a good shot right there. He'll have a good look at that for a birdie. He is 1 over par for the day and 3 shots back. Let's go to Dustin Johnson.
And he tried to take the break out of that. That was for birdie. He'll have that left for his par to remain at 11 under.
Dustin Johnson 3 off the lead. There's a look at the 14th. You know, Bing Crosby used to have Johnny Weissmuller here as one of his special guests in the Pro-Am. Tarzan. We had a Tarzan moment, in fact, 20 years ago when the U.S. Open was here. And who played the role? None other than our man, Nick Faldo, who takes us through that unusual predicament.
This year, 2012, here at Pebble Beach, we've got quite a few anniversaries. 50 years ago in the Bing Crosby, it snowed. 40 years ago, Jack Nicklaus hit that incredible 1-iron on the 17th hole for a birdie 2 en route to that US Open win. On the same green, we had the chip-in that was heard around the world, Tom Watson winning that US Open. And 20 years ago, when Tom Kite was winning this US Open, some poor guy came up the 14th hole and got his ball stuck up in a tree. So what I was advised to do by my rules official on the day, Dr. Tom Loss, who in fact is our rules official with CBS now, he said, well, if you can get up that tree and identify your ball, you could deem it unplayable and drop up here by the side of the green. So I thought to myself, I was a finely tuned athlete, wearing metal spikes, I'd give it a go. So off I went to find my golf ball. Well, unfortunately, the story doesn't have a Disney ending. I couldn't identify my ball. I had to go back, play another one. I took a triple bogey 8. I finished tied 4. Well, it was okay, but now, 20 years on, fortunately, I've still got a little bit of that boy in me, but I've got soft spikes now, so I don't know if they're going to work. Oh, I think that could be about it.
I was feeling really brave. I wanted to give it a go, but we've lost the branches now. You know, unfortunately, that tree was in front of the bunker there on that front right-hand corner, and that was lost in one of the storms about 10 years ago. And I know you're all going to tweet about my hair and Dr. Tom Loss's hair as well. Slightly different 20 years later.
Both look the same. You never did. The ball was never found by anyone.
No, it was. The young boys from the house next side, right by the green, they found the ball that evening. It's a long story. I'll tell you the rest of it later.
All right. Meanwhile, back to 11.
I like seeing Dr. Tom Loss there. Put him on the timer as well. Check that 5-minute rule. Phil Mickelson now, second to 11.
All right, from 105 yards, just a lob wedge.
Spin back. Oh, it's spun the other way. It'll loop around a little more and get back to a makeable position.
I take that one though, below the hole, Ian.
Yeah,
any day.
Below the hole, but it's a slice putt for Phil. It's not a hook putt like it would be for a right-hander.
Yeah, but he made a nice slicing putt on the 4th coming down that hill.
He's actually turned it around this year, Nick. His putting has been a lot better. I know his results haven't shown it, but he is putting well.
All right, Tiger now just 99 yards, and this is an opportunity he cannot afford to let go by.
Let's see if he can control his spin a little better here, Peter. Once again, draws it back to well short of the hole. Really needed to land that beyond the hole. He won't be happy there. Mind you, 30-foot short's better than 8-foot long. Leads the field this week in greens in regulation. It's good to see he's turned it around, but not so today as we head back 1 to 10.
Exploratory effort, one would imagine, from Charlie Way.
Pretty exploratory, pretty good. Ooh, good
Great
putt
effort.
right there, yeah. Excellent. You know, and he's done all his damage early. He's only 2 back, so all right, let's go watch the first shot here at that tough 14th pin placement.
One of the toughest wedge shots you can play. You know, all in all, he'll be still very happy with that. He got it over, he got it on the flat. He'll accept it. Dustin Johnson now at the par 3.
Coming down the hill, 205. Oops. Not a good sound when the marshal's screaming left. Look out.
Wow.
Oh, Dustin, what was that?
Over the gallery. Short side, no less. Now for an AT&T Pebble Beach moment. What a moment it was last year. D.A. Points and Bill Murray. The perfect pairing. at last year's event. They won the Pro-Am, and thanks to this hole out at 14, DA points won for the first time on tour. He swept it. He won the tournament and shared the Pro-Am title with none other than Bill Murray. What a memory. 2011 at Pebble. By the way, of course, they came back to defend, and they made the cut right on the number, but match of cards because they get exactly the 25. Murray.
He lost out, Bill.
Lost out on the chance to play again on Sunday. A good defense, and unfortunately, just by a fraction, he's out. So, winning the double. Dustin Johnson did that back in 2009. Phil did it, by the way, back in 07. Let's go to 10.
Trying to get within 2.
I see Dustin Johnson in short sleeves, Ken. Duke looks like he may be planning an ascent of K2 after he's finished here. Some
No
sort of
oxygen,
marsupial
yeah.
pouch.
Yeah, he's got them all over the place there in his arms. I don't know what you'd put up there. Okay, now back at 13. This is Ricky Barnes back up the hill. It's a good place to putt from down there. It's straight back up the hill. His partner, Bill Belichick, is in the bottom right corner right there. Coach, watching Ricky's every move.
I'll finish it, Coach.
And there's Ricky's dad right there, Bruce Barnes, who obviously punted for the Patriots years ago. Boy, he looks a lot like Ricky, doesn't he? Oof.
You can see where the hair came from.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back here at 18, Brian Harman again. He, along with his amateur partner, Ontiveros, they have a slim lead in the Pro-Am competition. That'll be for a team birdie. In fact, let's check that team leaderboard one more time. Brian Harman with Greg Ontiveros. Mr. Ontiveros, CEO of Group O. And again, out of Davenport, Iowa. Plays out of Crow Valley. I'm over there in that neighborhood where we do the John Deere Classic every summer. So we're looking down at that menacing green. It is really something else. Talk about slopes and contours, Ian, at 11.
Yes, these greens are very small too. They only average 3,500 square feet, which is about half normal PGA Tour size. So the putting is difficult here.
Well, this one back up the hill. That's the good news. But the bunker to his right will influence this putt breaking left.
Yes, over the years, those ridges coming in off the bunkers build up with sand and lots of play, which makes the slopes even more steeper. Good looking putt. That was a really, really well-read putt up the hill. See the ball just wobble backwards there? That's how steep that hill was. Streelman for birdie now at 14. Very rarely do you see things like what DA Points did last year on that hole, making a 3, because these guys are very happy to write down 5 and go to the next. We've seen so many disasters there over the years. Tiger's tapped in.
Now this putt for Phil, Ian, is really slippery. It's going to move to his left.
Yeah, that really was a lag effort. Hard to be aggressive there.
You couldn't afford to be aggressive there.
No. You get a little aggressive there, get a power lip out, and you're down 10 foot below the hole. So 2 fours there for the penultimate group. Coming in here, 110 wins in 720 starts between them. And in the final group, Wee and Duke, as Charlie tees off with the driver, no wins in 304 starts between them. So tale of 2 pairings there. Both good efforts on 11 green from both Tiger and Phil. But Tiger really thought he had it. It was tracking. Another one gone. Not many birdie chances left.
these two combatants have 7 holes to play as we return to the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am on another day where it's a bit gloomy looking, but still so pleasant. And we're back here at the 18th with Brian Harman, who's a tour rookie and was the 2003 United States Junior Amateur Champion by way of the University of Georgia. He went through the qualifying school late in the year and finished 8th to get his playing privileges. So they are in. It was a 2-putt team par in at 35 under. And Harrington and McManus have dropped the shot, but they have 5 holes to play to make up some ground. And Barnes and Belichick have 5 holes to play. They're not out of it either. There's Sam Saunders, Arnold Palmer's grandson, playing with Dick Ferris, one of the co-owners here of the Pebble Beach Company. You've been very helpful to these amateurs. We saw your putting tip that you gave Romo during yesterday's broadcast, and now here's a little bunker lesson that you gave to George Lopez earlier this week. Take a look.
Well, unlike the weather this morning, bunker shots doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. I've got my good friend George Lopez in here to help me. George, I've got some couple of very simple tips I want to show you, because you know, when you come and play a bunker shot, or you come and play golf any day, you feel different every day. I want to show you a way of literally calibrating your bunker shots so you can find the sand. The most important thing is finding a sand. I have this very simple thing I call my line drill. Put a line in with a rake. Now, here's the simple steps. Put the line on your left heel, stand as open as you like, right, to that line. Then you open the face first and it's pointing at your belly button. Then you grip it, right? And now I call it find the line. So you use your chest and arms to find the line. Now what happens, I'll give you some tips. When you get in a deep bunker, you want to automatically help it up when you hit it way fat. And then you get the other guy who gets a little scared of it and has to look up and he hits it way thin. Got the gist? Got it. All right, so number 1, put the heel on the, that's it, that's good. Really open, I want you to, that's it, open and point there, right. Get comfy and find the line, not bad. Now a little more chest, that means. When you're behind it, more, very good. There we go, that's only a couple of inches, right. Now we've got to stick a ball there. Now basically you're going to try and thump the line. Open that face up. Hey, I love it. Hello? Hello, hello, loves. George is playing with Trevor Immelman. Of course, Gary Player was the greatest bunker player of our era. So, George, if you need a par, what Gary Player used to do was intentionally hit in the bunker and you're guaranteed to get up and down.
That's good. I might get in trouble because I don't rake.
You don't rake. Thanks so much.
George has a very tidy game. Didn't make the cut this year, but he's done that before in the past.
He had a busy week entertaining everybody at his house here.
Over at the 12th. Tournament leader Phil Mickelson.
From 205 into the breeze, that's a 5-iron.
There's a big percentage missing this green. Oh my goodness, Phil.
What was that?
Huge gust of wind came up after he hit it. I'm down here about 40 yards short of the green, and that ball just got buffeted by the wind.
Over 211.
And of course, that's what can happen. So what Cam Duke plays second up the hill here.
The sand wedge for 112 yards.
When you're that close to the ocean, David, you never know which direction those little squalls or gusts are going to come from. They could be buried in the face just across the ridge to the 12th.
Well, now Tiger has seen what happened to Phil's ball coming up short of that bunker, so he's got a 4-iron.
I just wonder if this is a little bit of inspiration. Tiger thinks, well, if I can just put one in really close.
And this was, of course, the starting point.
Yeah.
Historic comeback against Matt Gogol. 7 down, 7 to play that year. Right now, 5 down, 7 to play.
Well, he's holding the finish for the first time for a while this afternoon rather.
Uh-oh. That's back in the bunker.
There's a serious percentage of been in that bunker or left of the green. Extremely difficult this 12th.
And remember, Streelman knocked it in there a couple of feet and made birdie. And here he is on the tee at the 15th, only 1 off the lead.
15's a relatively easy tee shot. This fairway's softish. It just sits down there. That makes the fairway feel twice as wide as it really is.
And back over to 11.
109 yards for Charlie Wee. Just a sand wedge.
It's a good sand wedge. He has to land it past the hole to allow for the spin. Oh, that's very makeable there, David. That's ideal.
Yeah, he started like a 30-year-old lawnmower, but he's played very well for the last few holes.
Yeah, I think that double bogey at the first really unsettled Charlie Wee. But he's only 2 back. A little bit of ultimate frisbee down on the beach. Attaboy. Oh, that's not good for the calves. No, you're not getting it back. That's not fair. And he's cold. We'll be right back.
And we go back out to the play at the 11th.
And Ken Duke's ball here. Fortunately, he didn't bury.
It's still a tough shot.
Oh, he liked the way he played it.
Oh, I mean, landing it in that soft stuff just scrubbed enough speed off it. That's a very good shot. Still a tough putt, though.
Tough putt upcoming there for a par for Ken Duke to remain at 11. Ahead 1-12.
Yeah, you guys were looking for the flopper over at 10 a little earlier. I got to think now, Peter. Here we go.
Yeah, he's got a reasonable lie to hit the shot. He's going to have to go high and use trajectory to stop it because he won't be able to spin it. He got ball contact way more than he wanted.
Yeah, bounce and ball. Needed a yardage from there. He still had 76 feet to go.
How about the lie here for Tiger?
The lie is okay, but the sand is very soft and fluffy where he is. So it's one of those short shots that requires a fairly substantial swing.
It's actually a good spot. US Open, we actually intentionally hit it in the bunker. It was the only way he could get close without to try to make a par.
Seems to be a game changer right here. Tiger holds it out for a birdie at the 12th. And don't tell me you weren't thinking about that before he hit the shot, that we could possibly do something like that. With Mickelson now a long way away for par.
That was what I was thinking. In that US Open, it was so hard. You hit it in that left bunker. Yep, it's makeable. How about that now? Tiger's going to get 2 back on Phil. Probably, possibly, or probably. Yeah, half an hour ago, he was on a downward spiral, just bogeying 7, 8, and 9.
Grinded out a par at 10.
Yep, and now got a massive boost.
And gentlemen, I can't tell you what he said to his amateur partner, Tony Romo, but I can tell you it was basically, I told you so. And he doesn't feel like he's anywhere near out of this.
Well, suddenly he's within 4 of the lead, and that 4-shot lead precarious as Mickelson has that long one for par. And that was Tiger and Romo with a little low 5. And is this a dangerous 3-putt territory here, Peter, or is this something that can be negotiated pretty easily in 2?
I think you can 2-putt it fairly easily, but you just don't want to get aggressive and try to make your par and leave yourself 4 or 5 feet coming back.
Just outside of 30 feet.
It goes 10 feet on the flat on that top tier, and then it's downhill all the way from now. Oh, Phil.
Just incredible.
What the reply.
Look at the gritted teeth.
We had a left hook to the kidneys and a left jab to the chin.
That was a significant moment here. I haven't seen a reaction by Phil like this since the 2010 Masters.
That was huge.
You know, the reality is that these two are the only two that can bring out the best in each other.
Isn't that right?
Just an amazing sequence here. Just before him, it was Tiger from the bunker. Just when you think we've got a 2-shot swing. Woods will only make up 1.
That got their adrenaline pumping.
While all of that was going on, over at 11, this was happening.
And a big putt.
And a good putt too. Charlie Wee, halfway rod there. He did hear that roar. We are, only a couple of 100 yards away.
So we will remain with a par there at 11 at 12 under. Phil remains at 14. Tiger jumps to 10. So we have 9 players between 10 under and 4 under. Kevin Streelman at 15 is one of those.
Yeah, not to be forgotten. Second alone. 142 in here. The 33-year-old who's never won. Remember, we had a first-time winner last year with the 8 points. That's not
that's
exactly what he was looking for at all.
That's a poor pull.
Over to 14.
Okay, the swashbuckling Ricky Barnes. Don't forget about him either from 112 yards. He can knock it in stiff here at the par 5.
Yeah, come on.
Almost a DA point. Just 6 inches away from birdie. Back to 13T.
Very interesting, huh? Very interesting.
Back into the breeze, a driver.
Let's see if he's got it fixed, Peter. Maybe he figured out his transition, huh?
Much softer look at transition.
Yeah.
The last couple swings.
Tiger trying to find it, and Peter, with Phil, everybody said, "What's wrong with Phil? What's wrong with Phil?" Phil hangs around for the majors. I mean, he's 41 now. He gets fired up for the majors. That's it. But you know what? I think he's fired up for this one right here. When he gets Tiger, just as you said, the only 2 guys that can fire off each other. He saw Tiger do that, give him the fist pump, and he wanted to return volley, or to return the serve so bad, and he did. He is ready to go now.
Yeah, Phil.
Marshall
Really like
says
that
it's
one. Take
straight.
left toward the bunker.
Yeah. That's a soft bounce. Really a soft bounce. That's actually going to be good right there. Straight up the hill to that back pin placement there. Takes out a lot of the angle. The farther to the right you go, the more it's going to turn left when your second shot hits the green. Ricky Barnes going to go tap this one in.
Tapping it in for a birdie. And Ricky Barnes moves to 12 under. So we've got Mickelson at 14, Streelman 13 with a chance of birdie. Wee and Barnes at 12. There's some exciting stuff coming up here. Stay with us. AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am.
And that's the ball that belongs to Tiger Woods in a divot in the fairway at the 13th. Currently 4 off the lead and tied for 7th. Pebble Beach, one of those places, once you see it, you never forget it. As we learn in this week's Global Focus, presented by FedEx.
Pebble Beach is an exhilarating mixture of rich history and stunning beauty. A cathedral that has held a magnetic attraction for the world's best since they got their first glimpse of Carmel Bay.
It's definitely one of the courses when you watch on TV as a kid that you think, I want to play there one day.
The first footage I'd seen was watching Nicklaus and Watson go down the stretch in the US Open.
Pebble may be one of only 33 stops on the FedEx Cup journey, but it's one that certainly stands out.
It's just one of those places you turn up and you're kind of excited to go and play. It doesn't matter how many times you've played it.
And it's a place that can set the tone for an entire season.
It's important to get off to a good start here on the West Coast, particularly at the AT&T Pro-Am. Get yourself some points and look forward to a nice push into the playoffs.
Well said by the international set. As you see, Tiger in the last 3 seasons FedEx summary, he won it in 09 and then finished 132nd out of the playoffs last year. This, of course, marks his American season debut. Here are the standings through the first month of the year. Kyle Stanley is currently on top of the points list with Johnson Wagner second. So when Tiger was walking up to see his ball, this was his reaction, finding it in the divot.
So this is the 3rd one he's had this week. Driving the ball into a divot, and this is the worst by far.
Over into 12th. Don't forget about Charlie Wee. He won the 1990 California State Amateur right here at Pebble Beach.
Come on.
He likes it, begging for it.
Gets the hole. Wow, that's good. Just to get a shot at making a 2 at 12 is very rare, apart from unless you're in a bunker, of course.
That'll be a tricky putt from over there. Meanwhile, back over at 15, here is Kevin Streelman.
He's got to be careful. He took a nasty hop, and that always takes a couple of feet out of it.
Kevin, by the way, when he was playing the mini tours, he was caddying at Whisper Rock outside of Scottsdale, caddying there at a club where Phil Mickelson not only belonged but designed a golf course. And now he's chasing after Phil. He's one back with that par secured now at the 15th. Back over to the 13th.
Yeah, now, Jimmy, when I play with him there, look, just ask him for yardage and I don't have to pay him.
He's full-time member there.
Perfect. He's a member now. Before, I have to pay him $100 for the yardage. Okay, what do we got down here? Phil's got a clean lie and a good look here, Peter.
Yeah, he's got 144 yards. It's cooling down considerably out here, and the breeze back into him.
You've
So
got 47 hole pins in the back, so just pick a number you want to fly it in the air.
44 right there we've got. And this thing is really in the back portion of the green. Phil's not going to do a no-no and hit it over.
yeah, he's got a 9-iron, so I think that's going to take out over.
He can put a lot of spin on it, and the ball hits short of the pin. It'll really jerk back. Nope, that was a non-jerk swing. Again, trying to run it up there. Oh, this is nice. Watch it, watch it. It's going to come back a little bit. Oh, that was really good. How about that? That's 35-footer for a par, and then he just jerks it in there about 3 feet away on the next hole.
I'll see your bunker shot and raise you a 9-iron. Now, Tiger's got stress here, Gary.
What
This is a really deep diameter-type divot.
What is that divot? It looks like a circle divot.
Yeah, it is. And he's got a 9-iron. He's going to have to put the ball back and try to keep the blade open as much as possible. So
watch the divot on this, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be as big as one of those seagulls you see flying by. Good thing is the hole's in the back. He's got a lot of green to run it up. But this is going to take out about $3,000 worth of turf here at Pebble Beach. Oh, there it goes.
it didn't come out left like he might have thought, but it's okay.
That's going to be a long, nasty putt with some serious break, but this will go all the way down now to that front left corner as the golfer's looking at it. That's where the low part is, going back towards the ocean. Not hard to figure out.
And considering the way Tiger's been putting, Gary.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. He's going to have a couple of 3 feet left. Well, let's just do it. I'm not going to watch the shot. Just watch the divot. Play it back, and you got to get really steep. That ball, half that equator of the ball is only showing on top. Look at this divot. So deep, he had to let go. He hurt his hand, I think yesterday. He said he actually popped the wrist back in. Now this ought to be fun with the Konica Minolta. Peter, take it away.
Yeah,
this
the
is going to be
Konica
great.
Minolta Biz Up Swing Vision camera. Just watch how this club head comes down into the golf ball. Again, there's the open club face, trying to lead forward, lean with the shaft. That's good. Got it out a little toward the toe. Look at how deep and how much force there was of that club head hitting into the forward part of the divot. Sends a shock up the shaft and enough to take his right hand off of his club. And he still managed to keep the club face nice and square going through there. That was good stuff.
Peter, did you see that the grass about a foot ahead of where the club came out of the divot was moving from the concussion of the soil? That was really cool.
Yeah.
Vibration. We get a few of those vibration things here in California. Let's hope they stay away.
Yeah, no
Let's go to 12.
You try not to bring that up around here. Here's Charlie Wee for birdie.
Yeah, quite amazing what all that Charlie's been through. Pop this one in. Oh,
well,
pause for thought.
He does that. He's gone with the Jim Furyk kind of what he was up to a while ago. He looks like he's going to hit it, then he'll take another look, and next time's for real. This one might just want to squeak away to his right.
So in the last two groups of the four professionals, 3 of them are over par. Phil just a foot away from going 6 under for the day. This would get Wee within 1. makes 2. Streelman made 2 on that hole. I mentioned 1990. He won the California State Amateur right here at Pebble Beach. He beat Gary Vanier in the match play final. There is Charlie.
That must have been some finish then against Gary Vanier.
Very good. You couldn't help yourself, could you? Players who have won the Cal State Amateur and then went on to win the old Crosby AT&T Pebble Beach. Well, Ken Venturi, what a record he had at Pebble Beach. Won the Amateur in 51-56. In fact, Bing called him up there at San Jose and asked him to come down and help out and play in the tournament back in 52. Went on to win it as a pro in 60. Gene Whitler, Johnny Miller, John Cook, and Marco Mira. As we pick up Aaron Baddeley, who's in this chase also. This is a birdie putt, and Aaron Baddeley gets to 11 under par.
He's with Streelman. Wow, there's a lot going on.
There is. Ricky Barnes at 15, getting coached up by his amateur partner Bill Belichick, making a big Sunday charge.
You've really got to hit some quality shots from just about from the 12th hole in. And I think whoever does that, obviously whoever does that best, it's going to put some pressure on the guys coming behind.
Let's go to the tee at 16.
Okay, we'll just take a 3-wood, try to hit it just left of those bunkers. Get a good look at this hole placement on this dog leg to the right, par 4. And Kevin's got it absolutely perfect right there, right in the middle. A little downhill shot now. See if he can get 1 or 2 coming in and see how these guys stack up behind him. He's in a really good position. There's nobody out here watching him, just flying right through. Okay, now where all the people have found this group, Tiger and Phil, 60 feet 6 inches.
He will be really hard pressed to get the speed on this one correctly.
Gotta figure he's gonna have 3 to 4 feet left on his second putt here. Don't get above it. Or he could make it. Or he could make it. I can't see him to make it. Oh! How did that miss? Joe LaCava gave me the fake there. It had to lip out. It looked like it was going right in the middle.
As good as that putt looked, Gary, it was 10 times better than that from down here on the ground. That was really a difficult putt.
Did it hit the hole, Peter?
No, I don't think so. Couldn't see it hit the hole.
Wow. That's a heck of a putt right there. Man, that's hard to judge that from down there. And Phil basically with a tap in right here. He's only got 2 feet. Give him a 2-shot lead. Going into the 14th hole, that par 5. Yeah. There you go. There you go. He's answering. 6 under par for the day, 15 for the tournament. 2 clear of Charlie Wee and Kevin Streelman. And now let's go back and see Charlie here on the tee. See splay foot there. Whee! Somebody's got it. Uh-oh. Left, left, left. Charlie got a little quick on that. There's a bunker over there. There's people over there walking between the 9th hole. He's probably in the bunker. I'm going to give it the bunker. And now from, oh, here we go from the blimp. Now we can actually see it. Hooking, hooking. Oh, it's got to look like it's in right there. Oh, man. That's good stuff.
Hello, and thank you for watching the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. I hope you're enjoying the great golf and appreciate, as we do, this tournament's commitment to philanthropy, which dates back to 1937. This year, we're approaching a milestone. $100 million in all-time contributions from the Pro-Am to local organizations like Cal State University, Monterey Bay, where more than half the students are among the first in their families to attend college.
I think it's so great that the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am is serving their community through education. I really wanted to be the role model for my younger siblings and kind of serve as a pathway for them to start going to college.
We're honored to be a part of an event that means so much to so many. From all of us at AT&T, enjoy the tournament.
And Randall Stevenson and his team, they've done so much for this tournament and for the PGA Tour. Just an excellent sponsor out here. Phil Mickelson without a bogey on the card, leading now by 2 over Wee and Streelman. Barnes is in 4th position. Dustin Johnson shares 5th with Aaron Baddeley and Kevin Nahn. My pleasure to bring in Andy Geis, who's the Senior Executive Vice President of AT&T. And they just announced that $100 million has gone back into the community with AT&T sponsorship through the years. You got to feel good about being a part of that.
Just fantastic, Jim. I mean, it really fits AT&T's culture. For over 100 years, we really give back to the communities that we live and work in. And this tournament with the Monterey Peninsula Foundation and the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am really gives back here locally to Monterey.
Of course, AT&T's been a part of this event for a long, long time. How have you guys managed to just even grow the popularity of this event?
Well, Bing Crosby started something very special here. And that is, it really puts fun together with professionals, with amateurs, with celebrities, that really raises money for the local community. And as you saw in Randall's message, we really change people's lives and makes a big difference, and that's what keeps bringing people back.
Well, it's good to see you guys back again and the long time commitment that you have in the years ahead to Pebble Beach and this great event. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Jim.
Enjoy the finish.
All right.
You got a good one on your hands here today.
Thank you.
Let's go back out to the play at the 16th.
And we've got Kevin Streelman, 154. This was earlier, and this thing is really left. I mean, just, yeah, you can see it right there. Just hop right over the gallery. That's just really a bad mistake right there on the short side, back in the Oaks. And you can see how far ahead it is with 9-iron. Got a nice line, but he's going to have to bump it in the grass short of the green and just hope. Bumped, but it just kind of sped out. Now it's 12, 15 feet above the hole. Really, really fast. And just not a good time to make a mistake like that. Let's go to 14.
573-yard par 5. Mickelson on the tee with driver.
Put a new shaft in the driver this week and reweighted his head in, and he has been driving it just on a rope.
Yes, he's really using that new driver. The one that you can change the settings on the neck of the club, the Razor Fit. Loving it. Now Tiger. Tiger trying to hit a high fade around the corner here and try and get up there somewhere near it in 2. Oh, he didn't. Another yard, Peter, and that would have got around that bunker.
Yeah, but that wasn't the line he was trying to hit it on. That was a mishit.
300 yards to get past there uphill. So it's a big hit. Out of bounds right of that, of course, so you have to be careful of that. Ahead one now to 15.
And Ricky Barnes has a birdie putt.
There's such a difference between uphill and downhill on these greens. One's mega fast and one in trying to get it back up the hill. You just cannot force yourself to give it a good belt.
Back to 16.
Well, he's made 7 birdies so far, but he would love to make this par. Look how fast this is now. He just respected that speed way too much. And now from the 9th fairway, actually right on the first cut of the 9th fairway, Charlie's got a fairly decent look at it right there.
I got to tell you, he was actually closer to the Pacific than he was to the 13th
to the
fairway. Yeah.
And it was not all bad back there. He's going to have just about that putt that, you know, Tiger did a second ago. That's Charlie we were talking about. Right now, he is 2 shots back here. Final round, Pebble Beach of Phil Mickelson.
The lead is 2. Tiger holds the bunker shot at 12, almost knocks it in at 13, but Phil has been unflappable so far. The par save at 12 may be the defining moment of this event. Who knows? Coming down the stretch at Pebble Beach. PGAtour.com, the official PGA Tour iPad app is available, so check it out now. Available for free, in fact, as you look down at 6, 7, and 8. The aerial views
from MetLife. The MetLife blimp giving us these beautiful pictures. Blimp coverage, of course, originated back in 1960 at the Orange Bowl. But there was never a place better suited for it than right here, the Monterey Peninsula. We go to 14.
Phil just laying up here with a long iron. Just make sure you get it in the short grass at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, that's going to be well positioned. Yeah.
Usually around the 100 to 120 they'll leave themselves, so they don't get too much spin with a sand wedge. They head to 16.
Trying to creep just a little bit closer. Aaron Baddeley down the hill, 9 feet 6 inches. Oh, this is good, isn't it? Oh, right in the middle. Beautiful putt. And he is 5 under today, and now only 3 shots. Back 2 holes to go. Yeah. Let's go back to 14.
This is just a few moments ago. Tiger's second.
And I tell you what, this was a heck of a shot. He barely cleared the lip. He got very aggressive with it and laid up beautifully. In fact, that's such a good shot, Ian. Let's look at it again with our Konica Minolta BizHub Swing Vision camera. And what Tiger's working on his golf swing should really help his bunker play, because he's keeping the club head outside of his hands as he goes back and setting the shaft on a much more vertical plane right there. So that allows him the feeling of being able to get his arms in front of him and swing left and cut the ball. And practicing out of a bunker, I think, would be a good thing for Tiger, because he really maintains his level with his head so much better. But watch how little this cleared the lip by.
Went through the grass, Peter.
It might have just nicked the grass as well, yeah. So, I mean, that was a very, very aggressive play and well done. He's only going to have 100-something yards for his third.
That definitely brushed the grass on the way through there. Just barely got it over. 6 inches less in elevation. That would have still been in the lip. Back 1 now to Charlie Wee.
Well, we've seen this putt here earlier. Let's see if Charlie can figure it out.
Well, he's gone this circuitous. I don't think it breaks that much, does it?
No, just what he wanted. He's going to get clanked on that coin right there, but he's got a couple feet to go. Looks like he's calmed down, obviously, since the first hole. And now Ricky Barnes, second shot, blocked out a little bit. It's an evergreen right there. He's got to go just to the right to that. Swing it in there. Yeah. Oh, a perfect position right there. That's absolutely perfect. That's going right up the fall line, right straight up the hill. Can't get any better. Good job, Ricky. Let's go to par 3 17th.
All right, now 186 par 3, 6 iron for Aaron Baddeley. 7 birdies, 2 bogeys so far on his card. And not too disappointing there. This is a very, very small green here at 17, so somewhere there just short right of the hole is good. Mickelson leads the way at 15 under. Charlie Wee at 13. 3 players at 12.
The First Tee has taught valuable life skills to more than 5 million young people. Join us in our campaign to reach 10 million more. To find out how you can help, go to thefirsttee.org.
Nick Watney, a California kid with immense talent, and talking about this First Tee gigantic program event here on Wednesday night with President George W. Bush and Arnold Palmer in attendance as they help raise millions more toward spreading the word and helping teach the golf and life skills this great sport will give you. Let's go out to the play at the 14th.
Tough shot here up the hill.
Oh, Ian.
Oh,
that's an...
That was a bad shot, pulled left, but boy, that could have been a lot worse.
Well, if he'd got one hop and hadn't hit that photographer, we'd have gone over the crowd's heads.
Exactly.
And that would have been way down there.
Now, this was a little earlier at 17. Also a 6 iron being used by Kevin Streelman. In the same grouping with Aaron Baddeley we saw just a few moments ago. That's just in the back left bunker. Not too bad, but a little slick down the hill from there. Both Baddeley and Streelman there at 17 are at 12 under as we head back to 14, and let's see if Phil can do a little bit better with his third.
From 95 yards, just a little sand wedge.
Control the spin. Oh, another beautiful shot from Mickelson. Looking for another victory here at Pebble Beach. Playing absolutely superb golf today. 4 birdies and an eagle so far, and a good chance for another one there at 14. Now Streelman at the par 3. It's so hard, Nick, isn't it, to get that right spin on the bunker shots on this Poa annua grass?
Oh, I don't think you can, and then landing on a downslope.
Very, very difficult. Charlie Wee with driver at the par 5. Just keep it left of the tall tree in the far off distance. Missed the one just there on the right. Thread it between the bunkers.
A little right.
Wow, he's right of the bunker, David.
All right.
So, depending on the lie, it's actually not too bad. Now Aaron Baddeley. See if he can make 8 birdies today. Looking good. The master putter just rolls one by. Sensational effort there from Aaron Baddeley. We'll remain at 12 under if he can just tap that one in, a little 18-incher tidy up. Aussie that showed so much promise over the last decade. Jumped onto the scene as a 19-year-old amateur, winning the Australian Open, and he's been around a long while now as we head to 16.
Ricky Barnes trying to get within 2. He can't get much easier on this hole. Straight up the hill, 9 feet.
Yeah, well played, Ricky.
Good back 9 going here and trying to rush to get in. And let's go watch this delicate little pitch here on 14. Boy, that could have been a lot worse.
Oh, it could have been way back here out of the camera shot. That
Not a particularly good lie, Ian, so he's going to have to be very, very careful with where he lands this.
Yeah, he's in the trample down stuff. That could roll back off the green.
It will.
Oh, and nestled down there as well. Careless third shot for Tiger coming up the hill there off that right to left slope, Peter.
Well, he hit a pitching wedge from 105 yards, and I think sometimes he tried to take so much off the pitching wedge, he decelerated and pulled it. I would take a look with our swing vision camera at the contact here. He just never tried to get it airborne, just tried to bump it. Club got hung up a little bit, could have perhaps hit it a little bit harder, but that was just a delicate shot that depending on the first bounce was going to determine where it was going to end up.
It was pretty well played, Peter, really, wasn't it? He just needed a little bit more zip on that first bounce and it would have bounced up to the hole.
Yeah, if you jam it and he landed that on the green and got the scoop, he'd be off the other side and down off the front of the green.
And that's where we've seen those players in the past make 8s and 9s. He can chip this one in. But it might be a little bit too late.
Yeah, a 6 to a 4 against Phil.
Yeah, a bogey here drops Tiger back to 9 under in a tie for 7th, and Phil a good chance to go to 16. So that's too much to ask. It's been 2 years and 5 months since Tiger's won on the PGA Tour. Has shown some good signs. Played well in Australia at the end of last year, and came back and won his own tournament at Sherwood. Played well overseas in the desert recently, but it's still not quite the confidence that we've been used to seeing Tiger possess this last 3 years or so. Now back to Kevin Streelman. Big putt here, needs to make it for par to remain at 12 under.
You know, Ian, with Tiger, he hasn't, you talk about the confidence, he hasn't been stacking confidence on top of confidence. You know, he suddenly see like very incredibly unusual today what we saw. I mean, misses on number 2, a good chance on 5, and then we suddenly see the run down, 7, 8, and 9, which was unbelievable for us to see. Then coupled with a few block shots or pulls, all sorts.
Oh, that was a good effort. Bogey for Streelman at 17. This for birdie for Phil. In the middle. That's a great birdie. That gives him a 3-shot cushion with 4 holes to go. Charlie Wee's just behind, but he's in the rough. It'll be difficult to make birdie. Mickelson leads here at the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. Final round on CBS.
We're back at Pebble, and you're seeing Phil at his finest, and you can log on to PGAtour.com for the best coverage of every event, featuring insider information, all those exclusive video highlights, and the web's only live leaderboard. It's PGAtour.com. By the way, Mickelson, if he wins this, it would be his 40th career win, so it would be a milestone win on top of it all. He's got 4 holes to play. He leads by 3 over Charlie Wee and Ricky Barnes on the tee at 15.
Doesn't have to do anything clever down here. 3-wood. Softish fairway. And there we go. Nice and safe. As you can imagine, in the Twitter world, Tiger and Phil are trending like crazy right now on Twitter.
Something they're not too concerned with right now. They're trying to figure all this out.
There's a lot
social media. Forget about it at the moment.
You're right. I mean, Tiger's got a lot to think about. He's 9 shots behind Phil. Well, 5 shots, 9 shots on today difference.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Let's go back over to the 14th.
Charlie Weed just laying up here. This was a few moments ago from the rough.
Just with a 5-iron, and it didn't quite get out on the fairway, boy, and I'll tell you, you'd like to have it on the short stuff for this next shot.
Oh, right over there in that sort of side of the fairway where we saw Tiger pull his 3rd. Not easy from there. We've seen so many horrendous disasters on this hole over the years.
Yes, that's
We saw 2 9s in a row here once, a couple of years back. Now we've got Charlie Wee set with his 3rd. Really needs to, if he can, David, keep it right of the hole and let it bounce forwards coming out of this spongy lie.
Yeah.
118 yards.
This is just, I mean, it's one of the toughest 3rd shots into a par 5 in golf. And, I mean, it's just such a tiny little area up there on the left.
It's just that you pay the penalty, David, don't you, with an off-center hit or a miss hit?
Yep.
If he can knock it in close here and make birdie.
It has 0 tolerance.
Get close to Phil.
What was that?
Beautiful shot. It bounced forwards. It didn't spin back. It might have been some assistance there being in the first cut. So he's got about an 8-footer for birdie to get to 14 under. And he could get within 2 of Phil Mickelson.
Well, this 15th hole certainly has a bank full of memories for Tiger Woods. We take a look at the PNC Tournament Achiever. This was 2000. We had a Monday finish here. It was Tiger and Matt Gogol, and Tiger jammed it for eagle at this very hole. Went on to win by 2, shooting 64 in the final round. The PNC Tournament Achiever moments. Back in the fairway at the 15th with Mickelson up by 3.
He's got 130 yards. He's chosen a 9-iron.
He's coming for the anti-spinner.
Well, this is going to have to spin left, or otherwise he's going to be in that bunker.
Wow. Wow, that is a sloppy shot there, Phil. Kind of slowed down everything and then dragged it.
17.
Ricky Barnes for birdie. Very quick putt here. A little peeler from left to right. To get to 14 under. Such a pivotal hole in all championships held here at Pebble Beach. No, allowed a little bit too much. Nick, you spoke about it earlier. So many great shots being held there. Nicholas Watson.
Oh yeah.
Back to 15.
And Tiger.
I'm sorry, it was Tiger that had 130. This is a pitching wedge, and this better get down.
How can he? Wait, that's a total airmail. That is so far out. Good 5 or 7 paces long at the 14th, and that one's almost a dozen yards too far in the air.
Began today. Wee was 4 in front of Woods, 6 ahead of Mickelson. And then things began to change. Mickelson got off to that incredible start, 500 through 6 holes. And right there marks it with the eagle at the 6th. just a little before 3 o'clock Eastern time to take the lead. And Tiger began slipping with bogeys at 7, 8, and 9. And currently the margin is 3 over Lee and 7 over Woods. Again, he began the day 2 behind Tiger. He was 6 behind the tournament leader. A full reversal. On the Champions Tour this week, they're in Florida, the Allianz event. Boca Raton, Florida, the old course there at Broken Sound. And here is Corey Pavin with a putt for birdie. The second round action. We saw a lot of that in his career, haven't we? And in the final round, he's got a 1-shot lead with 1 to play. And his closest pursuers are Longer, Senior, and Allen. Here is next week's action on tour. We're going to be down at the Northern Trust Open. Riviera Country Club, Pacific Palisades, Golf Channel coverage, CBS over the weekend. Over 15 now. Tiger, this was earlier, his 3rd shot.
He went for the high spinning flop.
And he's going to love this. Get a little break on that putt coming up. A superb touch there by Tiger. And now Mickelson.
Just needs a nice little stab, and
Well, this has got some heat to it, Nick.
Here it goes away from him here.
Oh, big, then he catches that ridge in the middle of the green. Oh.
Well, motoring along without a single bogey on the card. Now that long one to keep that intact. 14.
Well, if we could knock this one in, we could see a 2-shot turnaround. It's unusual for him. He's normally such a great putter. 4 putted the first hole today. Now a little earlier, Tom Dreesen in his 43rd year.
Oh, not. He made net birdie on that.
Yes.
Birdie net eagle on 14.
One of the great entertainers. We love having him here, and always does some work for the volunteers, for the crowds. Comes out and entertains everybody. Great to see. Let's go down to Phil at 15.
Good for Tom Dreesen. Here is Mickelson for par. Is he going to do this again? Yes! Just like the 12th.
Goodness, can't miss a thing. Or more positively, just holding everything.
Boy, does he have his stroke back. Late in last season, he went to the belly putter, the mid-length putter for a while.
Worked on it hard in the offseason, and those are 2 pars to remember.
It'll look good from that point.
Talk about see it go in.
Maintains the 3-shot lead. Wee has tapped in for his par over at 14, so just 3 to play with a 3-shot lead. And Tiger now has this one for par, this military appreciation hole, American flag. Flag stick being attended by one of our servicemen, and Tiger's missed another tiny one.
Boy, oh boy, it's someday.
And this is the kind of thing that you wonder. You know, recent form has been strong the first 3 rounds, Sunday shaky.
Yeah.
And now you get to a Sunday where even you thought yesterday he was going to win this tournament. I know a lot of writers around the nation were figuring the same thing. This was going to be the breakout win, ending the drought, the victory drought that's approaching 2.5 years. And then all of a sudden, the short stick is.
Well, he
just not
dries
there.
up completely. He played that front 9 yesterday, went out in 32, and since then, he's over par.
17.
This is a huge putt for the team of Harrington and McManus. JP, his marker's just there. He'd missed it, but Podrick knocks that one in. JP will give him a little love here. Thank you, my son. Thank you so much. And also at 10 under par, Podrick having a good championship. Currently in 7th place. Now Ricky Barnes, this one for par. Ricky, of course, playing alongside Bill Belichick, coach of the New England Patriots, plays out of Sankaty Head up there in New England. He remains at 13 under. Back to Tiger.
And now for the 5.
I wouldn't like this one.
What are you seeing out there, Peter Kostis?
Well, I'm seeing a different body language. I'm seeing a different energy level than he had earlier this week. Earlier this week, he looked a lot more relaxed. He looked like he was playing golf. And today, he's doing a whole lot of thinking about things.
Well, this is some set of pars. The 1 at 12, just after Tiger had holed the bunker shot for birdie, and that knocked the spirit out of that moment, and Mickelson knew it. And then just a moment ago, another one from long distance. A par, and Mickelson making his way home with a 3-shot lead, trying to win this event for a 4th time.
Okay, we're over to the 16th now.
Oh, what's he doing with this driver? He's going to try to hit it over everything. Yesterday he had 123 yards. He drove it over that bunker on the corner.
And today,
Right
he's not going to
there.
have much different.
Just perfect. Boy, that's putting a lot of excitement into this hole.
It looked like that might have landed in a divot. And when you look at Pebble prowess in Marco Mira, boy, did he have some track record here. 5 times a victor. Jack Nicklaus 3 times. Johnny Miller, remember that win really late in his career here? Back in '94, just an amazing achievement. This is earlier. That was the 5th shot.
I remember that '94 when Johnny, he was in the non-practicing mode. He used to sit in his car, you know, turn the heating on because it was so cold in the morning, and didn't run straight to the first tee.
Over to 16.
Well, see the difference in the strategy here?
Wow, Gary.
Wow. That's all
That's
I
a
can say is
controlled
wow.
long iron, Gary. That's going to leave him a long second shot.
Yeah. And Phil just took the driver right over everything. He's only got 126 left.
Well, here's where it all started to go wrong. 7th green, Tiger. Taps down, I guess, a little bumpy spot. And then it's what he was trying to tell us there. But then at 8, that was just a poor stroke. And then had a par putt at 9 to avoid 3 in a row. And the first 9, 38. Made a great saving par at 10. Hold the bunker shot at 12 for birdie. Then a moment ago.
Jim, I was trying to build this as a boxing match, a slugfest, but you put it in good old golfing match play terms. Phil beat Tiger 7-5. You know, playing together on a Sunday. That is, if it was match play, Phil beat Tiger.
The match would be over.
Done. 7-5. Way back on the 13th. How about that? You would never expect. And now, right now, as they stand here, Gary McCord, he's got him by 10 shots on the day.
And Tiger left himself 180 yards to go here after he hit his 2-iron, 3-iron off the tee there. Long way back to play this hole.
Yeah, we've got him at 179 and a 7-iron in his hands, and he's just lost his energy right now, Gary.
Yeah, you can see it. Just something let the air out of him.
Yeah, his name was Phil. He let the air out
Yeah,
of
he
him.
did. Phil just won't let go. He got the bit right now, and he won't let go. There you go. Okay, maybe he is playing the hole right. That is perfect right there. Right underneath it. Phil would love to have it right there. And he is a long walk away from where Tiger's ball was. And now let's go to 18.
Kevin Streelman has this for a bogey.
That's a
it got
collapsed finish.
Yeah, he lost a lot here down the stretch.
Bogey, double. Well, he can get that. So that's.
He was drafting behind Phil for much of this final round. He was one back after the birdie at the 12th.
That's the tough thing about this game. That's all self-initiated, you know, because he's a couple of groups in front. He's got some freedom to go and play, and that's what the mind will do to you.
It's a final round 70, and look at all the birdies early. Had 7 birdies through the first 12 holes, and then a 5-4-7 finish. This was earlier Aaron Baddeley. this to get to 13 under. And that, of course, is the preferred Sunday location in all the tournaments through the years here. Most of them, I should say. It wasn't there, in fact, in 2010, but so often you do see it on that low right side. 16, Gary McCord.
Well, he hit the same shot, Nick Faldo, yesterday. Identical. They had 126 yards, took the driver, and, you know, that kind of brings in a lot of nasty stuff you don't want.
But when he's confident, he's got great self-belief. I mean, on the strategy side of things, if I had a 3-shot lead, I wouldn't be whacking the drive down there because it'd be a totally unforced error if you didn't pull it off. But when it ends up good, we all move on.
You know, and Phil's to the point now where, you know, these wins, you know, he wants to step on their neck. And, I mean, Charlie Wee's the only guy who can catch him. 13 under. He's only got enough holes to do it. He's got to get some birdies going. So Phil is feeling it right now. Let's go with the driver. Let's show him how to play some golf coming in, because that guy's watching.
Yeah, Phil's only got 116, Gary, and he rolled right through a divot. He missed it by about an inch.
Play a little low and scoot it up here. Miss that tree. No, a little short. He's going to have about 30, 35 feet straight up the hill. Let's go to 18.
Aaron Baddeley to finish up. And he posts 12 under, round of 67. And he'll be defending next week at Riviera at the Northern Trust Open.
That's a good sign, isn't it, for next week?
It sure is. Now, 15, Charlie Wee. Actually, just a moment ago.
And just jerked it left with an 8-iron.
Came straight over the top of that one, David. Oh, ouch. It's got room, but it's an ouch.
And it kind of just nestled in there and dropped down to the bottom of that thick rough. And there you see it. You can't even see the ball here. They were joining them live.
So he's got to munch on this one.
Yeah, 60 degree is can save a multitude of sins. Great try.
Munch on that.
Almost hold it for a birdie. Let go of the club and everything. One-handed it up there with the follow-through. Charlie Wee is sharing second at the moment. This would have made things very interesting. After our broadcast, log on to PGAtour.com for the Winners Live post-round press conference. You'll hear all the comments and the insights from the champion exclusively live at PGAtour.com. Back out of 15, Charlie Wee. This one for par. After lipping out the pitch shot. Oh. Can you believe this?
Yeah, I just suddenly had that horrible thought like the first.
Yeah, shades of the first.
Yeah.
But he missed two little ones.
You stand over it so long, you just can't keep things moving. Then you try and move the head of the putter, and rather than just using your shoulders to make it all happen.
16.
Earlier, well, he's made 137 feet 10 inches of putt so far today, trying to add 26 feet there to it. And this gentleman right here, on the other hand, has made 40 feet 11 inches of putts, just about twice, 3 times the distance. Wow. That's unbelievable he'd leave that short. It's just 8 feet away, straight up the hill. th and 15th hole, the pull with the wedge on 14. And we'll power out on 15, and let's go now to 18.
And Ricky Barnes is in second alone. This is his third shot. Here comes the spin. By the way, We have a visit here from Mr. Carmel himself.
Hey.
The mayor.
Nick,
how are you?
Good, very good.
Clint, the
Nice
jacket's
seeing
looking
you.
good.
All fresh today.
All fresh?
Yeah.
Like daisies after last night?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, somebody told Mr. Mickelson what to do.
Yeah, some of these guys
I
did.
think he is the main man to this contribution because he's relaxed, he set the tone, he wined and dined. I'm being a little bit serious about that. Phil was laughing last night. He had a great evening. You are going to take
You entertaining? No.
You
I
entertained
don't-
all of us.
I don't influence history.
Oh, ouch. The lights went out, folks.
Like an old Western here with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Who shot us? Everybody's always shooting at you.
The man who made his debut on Rawhide back in 1958 on CBS.
It was one of those great live moments.
I didn't know you had a flinch like that in you, Nick. My gosh. Back out at 16.
I flinched and I'm on 16.
What was that? Well, that was a par for Phil, but one of the other stuff was
somebody was
shoot low,
light went out.
Digits are riding Shetland
Stuff it
ponies.
was in the saloon.
Again, next week on tour, we're headed to Hollywood. The Northern Trust Open World #1. Luke Donald is going to be there. Steve Stricker, Phil Mickelson, Fred Couples, and full coverage over the weekend coming up on CBS. We can't wait to get back there. See our friends in Los Angeles getting set for the Northern Trust Open straight ahead. And, of course, the Masters and a tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS. April 7th and 8th, the weekend dates. Here's the field for next week at Riv. And Keegan Bradley, Couples Day, Donald, Hills, Fowler, Garcia. Well, I know one guy that didn't flinch.
Yeah,
No,
he
yeah.
shot at
in the line of fire.
Nerves and
Is that what it was?
All those 50 magnums pointed at you.
I'll tell you something. That was something.
It's been some
Everybody
golf
wanted-
tournament, though, hasn't it, Clint? You've, of course, been a part of it for really like a half a century. So, I mean, you're a proud part of this tremendous event.
You had to tell me that.
I didn't want to date it, but once I got going down that
Hit him
road.
below the belt.
2 or 3
Jeez.
years.
2 or 3 years. Well,
It's a great tournament, and it looks like it's been and headed towards being a real good one. Wrap up here today. So.
yeah, it's been an amazing performance out there today by Phil Mickelson, which if he can close it out here without a bogey on the card, I mean, outside of his major wins, I'm sure it's going to be one of those ones that's going to have up there on his short list.
Very much
you
so.
know?
Yeah.
This is big for Phil. And I'm being serious, Jim. You set the tone last night, but probably the most important thing to Phil was, of course, he flew Amy up this week. They managed to sort out the babysitters so they could have a little couple of days together, and I'm sure that is going to be, obviously, after what they've all been through in the family. Phil, as he spoke last night, that was probably the most important thing in his life, to have Amy here. And it's going to be...
You could see it.
Yeah.
She's been here since Thursday, and they had a couple of date nights. And, you know, very special for them.
Whatever it was, whatever works.
That's it.
Playing like mad.
Let's get back out to the play at the 17th. Ian Baker Finch. Tower behind the green at that gorgeous little spot.
Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, very cold, chilly tower. Always great to see my hero Clint Eastwood up there with you as well. Now, Phil Mickelson started the day 6 back. He's currently 3 in front with 2 to go. So that tradition of come behind wins over the last couple of weeks perhaps continues today.
His caddy, Jim Mackay, ran all the way out past the edge of the trees and the bushes on the left to get a real good feel for the wind. So Phil now has a 7-iron.
He stuck with the 7-iron, Peter.
Yes.
Okay. 186. The flag is located right in front of the CBS tower.
This is going to be right near that ridge.
Perfect shot. Absolutely perfect. Safe, kept it to the right side of the hole. A little long, and all he needs is a couple of pars. There you see Kyle Stanley last week at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, trailed by 8, and what a fantastic victory that was for him after losing to Brandt Snedeker, who was 7 behind when he beat Kyle Stanley in the playoff at the Farmers Insurance Open. And today, Mickelson trailed Charlie Wee by 6 and is currently 3 in front of Ricky Barnes. So now Tiger.
He had a 6-iron, put it back in the bag, has gone to 7. I'm not sure, based on those numbers you just had, Ian, that I would want the lead going into Sunday next week. It would be
That's for sure.
I know that you wouldn't want to have me with you.
Yeah, David, that tradition includes you, doesn't it? Disappointing day for Tiger today. He's changed a lot of things in his game and in his swing. New clubs starting January 1st as well. Disappointing day. Something to work on as we head back to 16.
Wow, that's amazing. There's not too many people out here watching the last group of the day.
No, I've left.
You've left too?
No, I'm still here.
What's he got then?
He's got 8 iron from 150 yards, Gary.
He's got to make it. 4 back. Has to go in. He likes it. No, he doesn't like it. Way to the right, about 40 feet up on top of the hill. That'll be very fast coming back down. Charlie just has a little trouble with Charlie. He just gets down on himself a lot, and things start going wrong. And of course, he 4-putts the first hole for that double bogey, and that'll get you going the wrong way in a hurry. Let's go watch Tony Romo here on 17. Good golf swing here.
Yeah, scratch handicap. Obviously, Tiger Woods' partner here in the Pro-Am part of the format. Also with a little 7-iron here, just trying to cut it back into the breeze.
You can make a case that he's been the second best player in this foursome today. He has really played some solid golf.
He does swing it well. He's strong, obviously, and a good solid swing to 18.
And this is in the team competition at 18. Padraig Harrington will have that one for par. They come here tied, and J.P. McManus has a putt coming up 6 for net 5. So if it's a tie, it's a tie. Harman and Ontiveros are already in. So Harrington or J.P. McManus will have to make that putt to share the Pro-Am title. I can speak on behalf of all the amateurs. That's more pressure than any of us would ever need. Meanwhile, Coach Bill Belichick is grinding over a 5 net 4. They are in 3rd position. And we saw that earlier with Aaron Baddeley. So, Coach, it's not that far off. That's what it's looking like. Aaron Baddeley, one of the highest regarded putters out here, missed it on the same side.
I didn't recognize him without his hoodie.
Coach's daughter Amanda is an assistant lacrosse coach for Ohio State, and just by chance they're playing up the coast at Stanford today. So he said it was going to be a win. If we make the cut, if not, I'm going to go up and watch it. My daughter Amanda helped coach the Buckeyes lacrosse team, women's lacrosse team. All right, there you go. Got to give him a lot of credit for coming 1 week after a very, very tough loss to accept in the Super Bowl. And then, you know, here he is playing with Ricky Barnes, who had the pairings. You know, I don't know who was up to this little clever trick, but Barnes, of course, with Patriot blood in the family DNA. His father was a punter, Bruce Barnes, back in '73 and '74, many years before Belichick was there. And this is a birdie putt for Ricky. By the way, Ricky and his wife had their first child in September. His wife, Suzanne, and to bring this whole Patriot angle full circle, they named their child Brady. So he taps in, he's done with Belichick, and he's heading home to Brady. That was quite a little partnership right there. Well done, guys.
Well, Ricky Barnes has snuck himself into 2nd position all on his own.
He has. 67 for Barnes. Let's go to 16.
The 106-year-old Tom Dreesen.
And he's considering turning pro. I've been working very hard with him during this round.
I bet. Look at this shot. Oh, my goodness. Go in. Oh.
I mean, Tom's a comedian, and I'm telling you, that's just funny.
That is funny. He's hit some good shots. Really good shots. Yeah, that's a pretty good shot right there. Not much green down there. There's a 17 looking from up top there. Wow.
That is a tiny target. It's really like 2 separate greens at 17. Meanwhile, you're at 18. Harrington for the par.
I wonder if we get the same reaction we saw after he won the PGA. His second major in a row.
He's up there high individually, but this to share the Pro-Am title, and
Perfectly done. And his man, J.P. McManus, will share the title with Greg Ontiveros, Brian Harman, Mr. McManus from Limerick, Ireland. 17.
Long birdie try for Tiger now. Big right to left swinger. Just a hint short. Tiger and Phil paired together in the final round for the 10th time today. We mentioned it earlier. Tiger with 3 wounds, Phil with 1 in those 10 times. Looks like today Phil might get one closer in that pairing as we go to 16.
Well, this is down the hill and quick. Got to go in though. Have a chance.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Really? Don't go away yet.
And the lead cut to 3.
And let's go to 17.
Very, very quick and about 2 foot of right to left swing. Excellent putt. So Phil Mickelson is going to go to the 18th tee with a 3-shot advantage over Charlie Wee and Ricky Barnes, who's in the house at 13 under.
What would you do, Ian? Iron wedge down the last?
Well, I try not to do what Kyle Stanley did 2 weeks ago and take 8.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I gave it to Kyle Stanley as he left my tower at the Farmers Insurance, but I can't do that again to Phil. But I think Phil, with a lot more experience, looking for his 40th victory and looking for his 4th win here at the AT&T.
And whatever he decides to do, he's going to have plenty of time to think about it because the group ahead is still on the tee. They haven't even hit yet.
Always gets a little bit congested here at the finish, 17-18. Tony Romo for par. Their team had a 3, of course. Tony with no shot, so they remain 23 under. Good effort. Tony loves coming here. He and his wife Candice have had an absolute glorious week. Love rubbing shoulders with all the people that come here and enjoy this beautiful place as we get back to 16 and Tom Dreesen.
He's an 8 handicap. That's 11th handicap. Didn't get a stroke, but his partner already made one.
I was going to fill that in case he missed it.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it looks like here we've got McManus and look at all the coaches here. Belichick, Stoops. We got Ray Romano. What a great story that is. Never making the cut in 11 years, and up there kind of towards the lead, isn't he? There's Woods and Romo. Romo doing most of the damage today, basically all of it. Phil Mickelson, 3-shot lead. He's going to have a long wait on 18, but a nice wait it'll be. He's got a 3-shot lead.
Back here at Pebble Beach, the Monterey Peninsula, and a lot of sympathies going out to the Lou Russo family, the former longtime executive director of the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am, passed away Wednesday on the eve of the event. He served for more than 25 years. He lost a long battle with cancer. He was 80 years old, survived by his wife Janice and 4 children. Lou Russo, it was always such a pleasure to see him when you show up here every year at this event. And of course, you as a chairman of the Monterey Peninsula Golf Foundation for so many years, you knew Lou really well.
Absolutely. He was a director for many, many years and a terrific guy around here.
Yeah, got started back in the Crosby days and really dedicated his life to this tournament. So our sympathies go out to the family, Lou Russo.
here at 17.
Well, Charlie Wee with 6 iron.
Flag directly below my tower. But
Well,
you want to keep it just right of that, I would think, David. You don't want to flirt with the left.
Yeah, use the slope, to gather it, hopefully. But this would be an interesting place to hit one stone dead, because Mickelson just stands about 20 yards behind. Just make his tee shot that bit more difficult.
Definitely might change his strategy. 2-shot lead is a big difference to a 3-shot lead on the last hole with the way you deal with it.
And Charlie made a nice 2 down the 12th as well. That was
Really
right
made
at it.
one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fantastic shot. Right at it. Spectacular shot for Charlie Wee. 3.5 feet behind the hole. How about those 2 shots at 12 and 17 at the par 3s here on the second 9 at Pebble Beach? Charlie Wee. Boy, if he could have held those 2 short putts on this second 9, he'd be a lot closer to Phil, but a chance there to get within 2.
And by the way, this tee shot coming up is not one of Phil's favorites. He said in an interview 4 years ago that this tee shot, 18 at Pebble, he's quoted as saying, it makes me nervous because as a left-handed player, when I look up and tilt my head, I'm staring right at the Pacific. It's very nerve-wracking for me.
Well, and it's also anything over here as we hold there, that is all OB right there. So, and Tiger pulled one yesterday, and actually, was it Friday? He had one of the Marshalls that could have gone OB, ended up making the 4. So if it does go to 2 shots, Ian Baker Finch, I'm going iron wedge. Yeah, iron 9-9.
I agree, definitely. Tiger and Tony hanging out there as well. But yeah, I agree, Nick.
Well, he's a little 5-wood. He's got a 5-wood. You can do anything with a 5-wood. You could just
all right, Bones, what
pull
do we
it.
got
You're
here?
certainly not going to block a 5-wood.
Yeah, that's 240 bunker. What do you think? Is Reed when you get there? No, yeah, I am. I love 4-iron here. Okay. Right in the middle of the second bunker.
There we go. I love 4-iron.
Okay. I saw Leo walking off up to 16, maybe bogey 15. Can you just double check? I'm Charlie. Just did this year. We got a 2-shot. Okay, so we got to hit shots. We got to keep marking. Yeah. Let's go to see. We do have a 2-shot lead. This is going to make it safe.
Bones gave him the full update here.
This cold weather, cold air, is 4-iron enough. To what? Well, just to kind of give myself the widest fairway. Will it carry this little inlet and all that stuff? Yes, it will. I mean, it's 240 the bunker, so it's like maybe like 170 over that, I like a good, aggressive 4-iron right in the heart of that second bunker.
Good, aggressive 4-iron. Good job by the crew to pick up on all of that. And Bones Mackay talks Phil down to a 4-iron here.
It's funny, when I said iron, I was meaning like 1-iron in my day. 1-iron wedge, not a 4-iron. And so these guys belt it. You can probably get it. It's a sensible move because you can just aim it whatever you want to aim at and just belt it. And it's more important to have a full free swing rather than fearing you've got too much club in your hand.
Always try to make an aggressive swing to a conservative target. And that's what he's doing.
He's going to like that one, Peter.
Yeah, just belt in the middle of the fairway.
There you go. It's perfectly positioned.
Do the same again.
You saw that teamwork with Mickelson and Jim Mackay, and they are certainly really well known as a partnership out here for the many years together. And it all started for them, in fact, back in 1992. They debuted at Pebble Beach as a team in the '92 U.S. Open. Dustin Johnson. And it's got to be a disappointing day for Dustin because he very much could have been a part of this late in the day.
Well, I say 3 days, Jim. He shot 9 under day 1.
That's right.
So the rest of the week he's 1 under. He went to Monterey Peninsula, which
even
is
par.
Easiest, yeah.
Even
so
par at Spyglass.
We have his length. He's probably had 40 or 50 wedges this week, I should think.
Well, Tiger on the tee, if he makes birdie, he would move into the top 10. Did you ever imagine we'd come to the 72nd hole saying he needs birdie for a top 10?
Absolutely not. Beginning of the day, it was all about these two, and this will hurt Tiger way more. And if he comes in and just says, oh, it was my putting let me down, I think there's a lot more to it than just that. I think it's more the mental side rather than the physical side today. One guy beaming in confidence, in self-belief, and the other man still trying to find it.
Ian was talking about their head-to-head battles. This actually be the 5th straight time when they played in the final round together. Not talking about who eventually went on to win the tournament. Phil will have beaten him low round 5 consecutive times in final round matchups. Back to 17.
Where Charlie Wee will face a little 3-footer for a birdie to get to 14 under and just 2 back of Phil Mickelson.
It's a wee one. Oh, I'm killing myself here just trying to fill time. This has been a long, strange day in the final group, and you know, in an awkward kind of atmosphere to play in many ways. You know, with the entire crowd in front.
Yes, all the excitement and hullabaloo in front of them.
It's like somebody
still trying to stay in it.
Yeah, somebody having a conversation about you, and it's like, you know, I'm in the room.
This one has to go a little right to left, and it's very quick, so he can't bang it in.
Okay.
All right, Charlie Wee, 14 under. He's had 4 seconds previously on the PGA Tour, looking for his first victory. Another 4-iron for Phil here, I would think, at 18.
Yeah, the turn's a little draw for safety away from the ocean.
A lot easier work than it was yesterday here at 18. Drove it into the bunker on the right side, and his second shot went into that bunker there on the seawall. Made a scrambling 12-footer for par, which was at the time, you said that's a big boost going into tomorrow. Little did you know what it was going to carry over to.
Wow, amazing.
Charlie Wee now in second position alone, 2 back. Had 14 under par, and boy, what it could have been. Just a couple of little ticklish moments at the first, and he wasn't finished. He had that first one for par, had this one for bogey, and man, that's a good way to ruin your day in a hurry. So he doubles one, and then at 15, after very nearly pitching it into the hole.
Oh, that stroke was a little pickup on that one on the backswing. But he stuck in there. I mean, after that first, that was a pretty harsh blow.
Charlie played collegiately up at Cal Berkeley for head coach Steve Desimone, and he won actually the Pac-10 individual title one year. It was a couple years ahead of Tiger. Tiger didn't compete that year in the Pac-10 tournament because he was out with a back injury. But his old college coach has been down here, Coach Desimone, watching him play. And the AT&T. I tell you, they've had just a glorious stretch of weather here for months, and we've actually had more cloud cover, more a little bit of a spritz here and there than they've had for months. But having said all of that, how to keep these gyms, these golf courses that were used in the rotation here with Pebble Beach, Spyglass, Monterey Peninsula, the short course there, hats off and a nod to all those unsung heroes, the superintendents. They make it look so beautiful for the world to watch. Of course, spearheaded by Bill Perocchi and R.J. Harper and all those folks. Paul Spangler, and affiliated with all things all golf here at Pebble, and everything else too. So while Phil is still stepping back 100 yards away from his third shot, Amy has taken a position here right behind the 18th green. Going to be a little Valentine's victory for him.
More dating.
Yeah, maybe a couple more dates. Yes. He'll be this week playing at Riviera and commuting from home, flying up and flying back home every day because he wants to be home having dinner with his family every night.
Good for him.
And Amy's doing quite well. As everyone knows, a couple years ago diagnosed with breast cancer. His mother Mary as well. Everybody's doing just fine. Up ahead on the 18th green. This is a birdie putt coming up for Dustin Johnson. And it would move him into tie for the moment with Kevin Na, who you see right there in the white shirt. A lot of folks thought that the West Coast might be a struggle for Dustin coming off of a late season knee surgery in 2011. Pours it in. Again, some track record here for Dustin Johnson, twice a winner, 09, 2010. Could have very easily won the 2010 U.S. Open. Not that it's easy, but he had certainly a good chance at it. Birdies 2 of the last 3 coming in, but a double at 14. Sullied any chance to finish in second position. And Kevin Na, as you see, is told way back there. We got 3 groups on the 18th right now. Na has this for par. This now to stay in that 5th place tie with Dustin Johnson.
Well, they're going to grind on this one. Going to plumb bob it from every direction. Check the Sharpie line on the golf ball.
And look at the waves splashing up against the wall here. And a little harbinger of some stormy weather to come in here overnight. Kevin Na, I thought all week long, might be the guy to beat. He was playing with a superb amateur player, Jimmy Dunn. And he played with Phil Mickelson as well the first 3 days. And he had a stumble today at the 6th. There you go, knocks it in. The round of 70. There you see the fast start, 3 of the first 5. He conquered, bogeyed 6, and then parred in, Nick.
Yeah, all of a sudden becomes a little bit harder to make the score happen.
Tiger waiting to go for this green in 2. And Joe LaCava in the foreground. His closest pal in the world is the caddy on Mickelson's bag, Jim Mackay. Those two will travel together on the road. And now, that's Joe, the longtime caddy, of course, for Fred Couples, and briefly last year for Dustin Johnson. In fact, was on the bag when he won at the Barclays. And now they each have these titans of golf. So Tiger's ready to play his second shot. Peter Kostis is down there.
Well, after a wonderful tee shot, he's got 239 left to the hole. Can easily get there. And this will test his mettle. This is one where you got to start it at the left side of the green if he's going to cut it, and work it back toward that bunker. So we'll get a good view of how confident he is with his golf swing right now.
Well, right at the end of the day, I'm sure he's got some scrambled thoughts going through his head. So needs 100% concentration on this one. And he likes it.
Let's go for a little right kick. Oh, no, he got it. He got it. 11 eagle putt coming up.
Did that land in the... This was a tiny putt on 7, 2 feet 1 inches. He slams in a spike mark after that. 8. This was a 5-footer. Blocked that one very much like his long game. He's a little bit longer again, 9 feet or so. But for me, it's all going to be about Tiger's got to face the music with the media. I'm going to be fascinated at the end of the day what he says about this, because I would try.
They're all ready to write the story. He's back.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen sometime, I believe, this year. But how do this kind of performance, though, when you do get into, say, an Augusta or a U.S. Open position to win, is there lingering effects off of something like this in some of the other recent final rounds?
This is like a boxing match. These two have slugged it out against each other, and Phil's walked away, and he must have bruised Tiger in this battle today.
But putting Phil aside, how about for Tiger just
his
on
own
his
self-confidence, his own self-belief? This was a bad day. This was dreadful. There was missed putts, there was blocked shots. He didn't like that 7-iron down the 9th, and then he pulls it left, so because he maybe feared right. So his game on a Sunday afternoon, he's got the game good enough to get him into contention, but it's not good enough to finish it off.
Mickelson up by 2.
One final knockdown pitching wedge from 114.
I love this middle of the green, spin it back. Oh, he's just showing off now.
Yes, he is.
This is a day of perfection. This is as good as we've seen Phil play for a long time.
It's the round of the day. In fact, 67, the best score. Otherwise, he'll have that little one for 64. It would be the best round of the day by 3.
Yeah, the way he put it together, I mean, he hit the second green in 2, he hit the 6th in 2, a whole couple of great par putts.
Charlie Wee back on the tee.
And that's with a 3-wood?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to me. 3-wood and the mid-iron and a wedge again. Play for the fat of the fairways.
Stories about Phil is the family history here at Pebble Beach. Think he's a popular winner here? Just listen to this ovation.
And guess who else has got to listen to it as he walks up the 18th with his hands in his pocket?
I mentioned his mother Mary earlier. Her father, Phil's maternal grandfather, Albert Santos. And they talk about the American dream. His grandfather, shortly after Pebble Beach opened, which had opened back in 1919, his grandfather, as a young boy, I'm talking 13, 14 years old, along with his brother, so his great uncle, they used to come down here on a train to caddy at Pebble Beach for 25 cents a bag. 2 generations later, the grandson's going to win at Pebble Beach for a 4th time. And it's going to be worth over $1 million. And the money is not his concern right now. It was about the title, which will be his 40th. And this was really the point where I think he just deflated the field. Tiger had just holed a bunker shot, and Phil knocked it down right on top of him. Just look how much you could see it written all over his feet, gnashing his teeth, celebrating the par putt. Then at 15, there was another one just like it. And not a single bogey today. Those 2 saves to go along with an eagle and 5 birdies, and maybe there's even one more birdie to boot.
Yeah, I know Phil's got a lot of gratitude, for what he's got, and I know personally when I used to walk off a win like this late in your career, you just say to yourself, wow, I can still do it. I can still win. This will be a massive boost. Obviously, on Reg, you talked about the Masters and the majors being most, as we get to our, in our 40s, they are the priority. This is going to be a massive boost for Augusta National.
But, there was no indication it was coming up.
No.
As we see Tony Romo here at 18, and everyone's missing us on the high side. I mean, Phil had not been in contention at the Humana event down in the desert. Missed the cut at home at a tournament he starred at many times at Torrey Pines. Really wasn't a factor last week. TPC Scottsdale was up there a little bit, but
yeah, he just worked a little. He flew butch in. He was very narrow at Torrey Pines. Obviously, got a little bit more extension going back on the takeaway, holding his back leg, his left leg a lot firmer on the backswing. That changed things considerably. Just getting that just an inch or 2 more, more to the golf swing, more width in the golf swing, has changed his shot making. Was very comfortable with the putting before, as we watched Tiger.
This for eagle. And a 2 on the high end.
But well done. And he'll have that little one left to sneak into, just to move into a tie for ninth. There's a long jam, but 9 under par. So Phil's going to have this little one to just nudge it, close the door, and make it official.
Yeah,
for a 4th time. The first time he won here, Nick, you were still playing back in those days. He won it in '98. We had weather here, and they actually, instead of just canceling the tournament, they moved the final round of the tournament from February to the day after the PGA at Sahalee in Washington State. They came back on that Monday, mid-August, and won it for the first time.
All right, just for all the glory.
Number 4, and Phil at his finest.
That might be the headline. Phil at his finest. Tiger still a question mark.
64 it is.
Tiger taking no time. Just, oh my goodness.
And he's still putting. He's got...
You know, this is what
has happened to Tiger today. Being in Phil's wake is what we saw for over 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
What Tiger would do to everyone else.
Everybody. Absolutely.
This is one of the sweetest. That says it right there for those two. This is a victory they will treasure.
Bones looks a little emotional there for us. Yeah, I think this has been a... As I said, as we get older, it's all about gratitude to think, wow, we can still got it, we still can do it, and boy, did he do it today. That was unbelievable. Tiger's still got 5-footer.
It's longer than the last one.
3-putt par rattles home. 75. 11 shots higher than Mickelson's total today.
And Romo.
Hey, it's good. Thank you. Thank you. We gotta save this.
64 at Pebble Beach. The second best round of the day, 67. Let's go down to Peter Kostis.
Thank you, Jim. I'm here with Phil Mickelson. And Phil, I know you've been working hard on your game. I know you've been trying to get things organized. You said you've been getting better. Today, you put an exclamation point on that. This was as impressive a round of golf as I've seen out of you in quite some time.
Peter, it feels just amazing because I felt like my game was there, and I come out the first couple weeks and I shot a few horrendous scores, and it made me question it. And to be able to play the way I did these last 18 holes really means a lot.
You're now 41 years old, but today marks your 40th win on the PGA Tour. How does that feel?
It feels awesome, and hopefully it's just one of a few here this year because I'm starting to feel pretty good. But to have a win here where my grandfather caddied, to where I've won a few times, it's such a special place, Pebble Beach. It feels awesome, whatever number it is.
Well, congratulations on a tremendous round of golf and a tremendous tournament. We'll let you go sign your card and make it official.
Thanks, Peter.
Jimmy, back up to you.
Yeah, thank you. He's remembering his grandfather as he exits the stage into the open arms of Amy.
Love you, dude. Hey, Patrick, come here, my man.
His friend Patrick O'Riordan from Barclays. That final round at the Masters 2010.
So happy for you. Oh my gosh, what a round. Are you kidding me?
What a round. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She says.
I think that's going to be it. Are you kidding me, Phil Mickelson? What a round, what a day, what a tournament.
Was there a doubt? Not a chance he was going to miss that one after the round he put together. And again, these two have been together for a long time. Well, the Mickelsons celebrate another great moment for them. One of his best.
We're back at 18. Phil Mickelson has won the golf tournament. Charlie Wee trying to preserve second solo.
111 yards, pitching wedge.
Look at this.
Are you serious? Oh, wow. For a moment there, just think how crucial the birdie by Mickelson really was. That would have been an eagle.
And the MetLife shot of the day. What do you choose? How about the one at 13? Second shot, 13.
Yeah, the clever thing about this is the abbreviated follow through. It's very difficult to get the golf ball to do this on this green. Normally bites and spins back down to front, but runs it in there for an easy tap.
MetLife shot of the day on his way to victory.
Uh-oh. Should we be letting him PLAY with our TABLET?
I think it's fine. It's the new element from AT&T, so it's WATER proof.
Cool. What else is it, DO?
It's fast. It's 4G LTE.
What's LTE spell?
Nothing. WHY.
Okay, can we stop spell talking now?
Okay. AY.
Buy a waterproof Pantech Element for $249.99 and get a 4G burst smartphone free. Only from AT&T.
Really? You're joking. Rocket balls.
Say it again.
Rocket balls. Rocket ball?
Is that thing really coming out? I'm just going to call it RBZ. How about that?
What does it do?
That's the long three-wood.
That's ridiculous.
Let me hit one more. I cannot believe. Oh, yeah. You know what? I can say it now. Rocket balls. That is unbelievable.
The AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. TaylorMade, performance makes us the #1 driver in golf. TaylorMade, and by AT&T 4G LTE, with speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G. Our aerial coverage provided by MetLife, and they'll be with us all season long. Let's go down to Peter Kostis.
Thank you, Jim. I'm here with obviously a disappointed Tiger Woods. Tiger, the last couple of tournaments, your game has shown flashes of brilliance and consistency like never before, factually, and yet frustrating days like today. How can you put today in perspective?
Well, I didn't hit it as bad as the score indicated, but I putted awful. As good as I felt on the greens yesterday, as bad as I felt today. And I just could not see my lines. I couldn't get comfortable. I couldn't get the blade to swing. Anything that I tried to do wasn't working. And consequently, I made a ton of mistakes on the greens.
And as well, it seemed like a day of in-between yardages for you. You ended up with that divot on 13, just like nothing was going your way. Does that weigh on you as well when you're trying to struggle and work your way through these issues?
Well, what's frustrating is that I had a chance, and all I had to do is get off to a good, solid start today, and I didn't do that. I was 1 under through 6, which, but Phil was 5 under through 6, and that was kind of the start I was kind of hoping to get to, 3 under through 6 or something like that, and I didn't do it. I thought I could get it, in the middle part of the round, but instead I went the other way.
Was being paired with Phil a factor at all in the way you played today?
No, not at all. I still had to go out there and post my number, and I thought I had to shoot 67 to 66 today was kind of the number going out there, and that wouldn't have been good enough. So it was a fun day to be out there, but also then again it was very frustrating at the same time.
Well, I do see a lot of progress being made. I see a lot of quality golf shots being hit, and it's just a matter of time, I think, before you can put them together for 4 rounds, hopefully.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tiger.
Thank you, buddy.
Jim, thanks to you.
All right, thank you, Peter, and thanks to Tiger for sticking around to do that interview, which is one of the hardest times to sit back after a defeat like this and to step in and answer the questions like that.
For me, what I take from that is the great thing about what Tiger could do in the past. He could make things happen. Right now, he cannot make things happen on the golf course.
Well, Mr. Eastwood, you go down as always to the green to present a check and a trophy. You've done that a few times with Phil Mickelson in all the years you've been around here.
Phil, yes.
You haven't seen many performances much better than that.
Not much. That was exciting today, and we talked about it last night briefly. He felt his game was really on, and he went out and did it. Fantastic.
Well, we always love having you up in the tower and sharing the broadcast with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Nick.
Thanks.
See you later, man.
Still have the final group on the 18th green. Charlie Wee. I don't know. That is a nice little turnaround by Charlie today after that hiccup at the start.
Well, it was a big hiccup. I thought he would be on a real downward spiral mentally, and he still missed a couple of little ones. But talk about resilience. Keep plugging away. You can take a big pat on the back for that. Stick in it. You never know what's going to happen. Just keep at it until you get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, the final hole birdie gives him a round of 72 and second 2 clear of Ricky Barnes. By the way, Phil won with his amateur partner. We didn't see Skip McGee today, but he was out there in that group also with Romo and Woods and Mickelson, and the head of global investment banking for Barclays Capital and a proud member of the Houston Country Club. Was out there playing some great golf all week, playing alongside Phil, making Houston Country Club proud. You know, this distinguished history there, and its #1 member, former President George Herbert Walker Bush. And with play complete, Jim Mackay waited around to go back for the ultimate souvenir, the flag at the 18th.
Got to undo the nut on the end.
Phil remembered his grandfather. He used to give all of his victory flags to his grandfather Santos, and he used to have them lining the walls of his den. Again, we had co-champions in the Pro-Am. J.P. McManus has now got a pretty impressive double. He won the Dunhill Pro-Am at St. Andrews back in 2006, and now he's got Pebble Beach, a piece of it, along with Mr. Ontiveros and Brian Harman. Mr. Ontiveros again from Davenport, Iowa. They'll have their names on the back of the wall on the first tee. And a little Waterford crystal is heading Phil's way. Next Saturday on CBS, college basketball, UCLA at St. John's. Some will see UNLV take on New Mexico here on the home of the NCAA basketball championship. And we'll have, again, more golf coming up. Phil will be in the field at the Northern Trust Open. And he's won that multiple times as well. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and a feature on Adele. And then the live Grammy Awards and a tribute to Whitney Houston. Here are the updated FedEx Cup standings. Phil moves into 5th position. Did you expect anything like this today when the sun came up and you were out making your walk around Pebble Beach?
Well, I was predicting you need a fade, and then Phil, obviously being a lefty, his draw is a fade, and he was working it so well. He had a couple of key shots. His stats are fantastic today. Hit 13 out of 14 fairways, 14 greens, and made 10 one-putts. It was pretty spectacular.
A 40th career win for Mickelson. He had come in tied at 39 with Dr. Kerry Middlecoff and Tom Watson, a pair of multiple Crosby winners. Closed with a birdie. He had it on go all day long, and perhaps his wife Amy said it best. That round, are you kidding me? Jim Nance, along with Nick Faldo and all the crew, saying so long from Pebble Beach.